Awesome. Hey, man, thanks for coming on the Limelight Podcast. Randy of We Were Sharks. It is not an opinion. It is a fact that they are an extremely underrated pop punk band. If you haven't checked out their recent album, Lost Touch, it's available on all streaming platforms as well as YouTube. It's pretty simple. You can just Google We Were Sharks, and they will pop up immediately. Bro.
What's going on, man?
What is up? I fucking miss you, dude. Holy
shit. I miss you too, man. It's been way too long. I tell everybody about our epic Eagle party when we were down there when the Eagles won.
Dude, I said this to you guys. I said this. You're going to witness the greatest Super Bowl of all time.
I did. It was fucking awesome. It was so good.
Especially explaining
$1,000 bucks. $1,000 bucks.
$1,000 bucks. So what he's talking about is I lived in the same area as my parents do, and they were across the street, a couple houses down at a neighbor's house watching the game as well. And they do one of those gambling boxes where you just pick odds or even numbers. You throw in a certain amount of money. Well, my mother won, and she just came across the street and just barged in the door, and she's like, "I just won $1,000 Wow!" And we're like, $1,000
Yeah,
$1,000
sick.
Fucking wings. Fucking beer. I mean, we just did not stop at all. That was one of the greatest memories I've had with you, dude. And I think you guys stayed at my place for 3 days.
Yeah, it was like 3 days. It was awesome. We just go play and then come back, go play and then come back. And one of the days we had off, I remember, and I'm pretty sure Will spent like $700 on alcohol. That big thing of vodka he had,
dude,
that he got from Baltimore.
Will, their drummer, is literally the fucking king of drinking straight vodka. Like, just has it in his hand. Yeah, he is getting better. He's pretty much a professional at this point.
Yeah, I feel we're all getting much better at drinking. I know I'm learning. I'm getting my chops back up. I feel like I'm like 18 again, and I'm just going balls to the wall on this.
Yeah, no, and then I the last time I saw you guys too, you played in New York with Never Loved, and I didn't get to see you guys that much because you had a show the next day, so it was nice to have you guys stop by, crash, refresh, go. So
it was sick, man. It was sick. That was a fun show. It was definitely a fun show with Never Loved and Assuming We Survive. Mm-hmm. Fucking two sick bands, the sickest, and the homies, right? So.
Yeah, those are all your homies. We actually, our first tour with Poeta was with you guys. You hosted us in Canada, which was
sick.
Which was fucking sick, dude. I mean, those, I can't remember a lot of the gigs with what their names were, but we did have like a 4-day weekender going from Kingston all the way to Hamilton. My favorite was Sneaky D's, though. I feel like, how do you feel about Toronto's scene? Because it's very mixed feelings in general, but I think it had a good turnout when we played.
I mean, Toronto bands in general in Toronto are fucking amazing. They're all so good. And I mean, some of them don't even call themselves Toronto bands because they're like suburb of Toronto. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the Toronto scene's awesome. I love everybody out in Toronto. Toronto's like the best. And especially when we started being from Ottawa, like, yo, we would just like tour down to Toronto. Like most bands call it a Canadian tour, and it's just like a 2-week thing or a week thing down to like Toronto, and you'd hit up like Kingston, and you'd hit up like Brampton, you'd hit up like all these little spots, London and stuff like that. But yeah, to me, the scene in Toronto is fucking amazing. The kids are always great. It's always a party. I'm glad that you guys were out there and had a good time with us.
Yeah, and then we brought every time you guys come to the States, if you come to Jersey, we always try to redo the favor and just have a nice host in Jersey. Usually if it's in, I'm trying to think, either in Tom's River or I think Brick. It was just one of those shows. We played the Brighton Bar. That was like the last show I remember we played together. And yeah, it's a good time. It's just touring is just one of those things that I personally wish I could do what you guys do. You guys don't stop. I think your longest tour recently was with Never Loved and Assuming We Survive for like a month. A little over a month.
Yeah, I think a little over because it took us 4 days to fucking drive out to Vegas to start.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I remember getting stories from Kyle, your merch tour manager, photographer. Wearing all the hats.
Jack of all trades, man.
Jack of all trades. Miss you, buddy. Hey, and thank you to Kyle. Kyle is there. He did the new overlay and the logo for me. Shout out to Kyle.
Not only is he good at everything, but he's handsome. He's so fucking handsome.
Super handsome, dude.
He's a handsome dude.
If I search that way,
he's on Tinder. Find him out on Tinder. He's on Tinder. I know he's on Tinder.
What's his city location? What's the city location?
I'm pretty sure it'd just be Otto.
Just
I call on Tinder. He's a good-looking guy.
if you subscribe to Tinder, go to Ottawa so you can plant that pinpoint, and then look for a guy with a hat and a beard or a beanie. Like he's got a really nice thick black beard. Hopefully, it has something to do with like his trades and shit.
Yeah, he's good, and he's fucking good at everything. And he's a barber. $100 haircuts, man.
He's alright. Fucking, I don't want to get his head too big. Cheers, Kyle, motherfucker.
Cheers, Kyle. I know you're watching, buddy.
So, what's going on now? I heard some rumors that, well, it's not a rumor that you guys are going to record a new full-length album, which is fucking sick. I'm stoked for that.
All done.
Yeah,
it's all done.
It's all done. No
it's
way.
All done.
Let's go. Tell me about it, because I want to hear. I'm a little antsy with it. I'm pretty stoked.
So we worked again with Paul, Mark Rousseau, and Sam Guyana, and then we added. So we added engineer Dean Hadjikucho, something like that. He's the fucking man. I've known him forever, and he always gets mad at me because I can't pronounce his last name, so I don't even bother trying. So, so we worked with the same team and just added, a great Ottawa homie to it. So it's the same team on Lost Touch. And a big reason for that was we wanted to work with these guys again because it was such a cool experience doing Lost Touch that we just wanted to be even more open with this album. So this album, I mean, some of the tracks, I'm excited for people to hear them because they don't know what they're getting yet. It's there's quite a bit of I want to say some R&B influence on some of these tracks, which I'm a big fan of. They wouldn't let me do country stuff, so I was like, I'll just do the R&B stuff then.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with experimenting, and from
100%.
your first debut album or EP to Lost Touch, I mean, it was not a complete difference, but you can tell you guys evolved into something fucking significantly greater. So
I mean, we had people pointing us in the right direction, right? Like we weren't anything that we were always afraid to do. There was more of don't be afraid of it, just do it. Like let's just try it out. And I think on this album we went even a step farther. I mean, it's still pop punk and it's still what we do, but it's just there's a little more elements in like I want to say we took the time and we got these songs out. Like Paul came up a month before we even started recording this album, and we just like chilled out and wrote and just really try to wrap our heads around what we wanted to do for this one. So very proud of it. I'm very, very proud. We're all very proud of it.
I'm stoked for you. I can't wait for the release. But how many songs did you go into the studio with? Like maybe 15 or so or less? Like
no, we just went in and like before we went in, we wrote. We had some ideas, we had some music ideas, but then when Paul came down, we just wrote every day with Paul. But that was like the goal. I think we smashed out 9 songs, and Paul was down for like 10 days, maybe 9 days. So it was like every day it was work. We went into work every day, and then once in a while when we were tired, we go get a couple beers and then get back to work. So
that's cool as fuck. Do you ever have a conversation with him, like maybe hop on a tour with Silverstein and be like a opener?
He knows. He knows how bad we want to do that. I don't think he has much say when it comes to that stuff, but I know Paul knows that we really want to go out with those boys. That like the best we played with them, and they're just the coolest guys, man. They're Canadian legends in that stuff. They're just that band that never stopped going, and they continue to go, and it's fucking so nice to see.
Yeah,
their new album's fire, by the way.
Oh, dude, I can't wait.
I mean, I guess it's not really new now, but it's like fucking fire. So good.
Yeah, no, they do a great job. I mean, it's cool that I see the relationships built between bands. When we released our debut album with Golden Fields, we had that relationship with our producer. Unfortunately, he moved to California, so that was we were kind of shut out of luck. So we had to reshop for who we wanted as a producer. But when bands go back to the same producer over and over again, you know that it's just going to continually build into something greater than what you guys did previously because that relationship is there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you guys
a connection this time, right? Like we could kind of tell each other no and be like, I don't know about that. Nobody's feelings were hurt. Nobody was crying. It was really nice.
It's that trust factor that you need. Yeah, especially because he's the professional and shit, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. They're all of them. There's a reason we got those guys. They're the fucking. They know us better than we know ourselves on stuff. So
yeah, it's true.
It's always a pleasure. Yeah. I learned so much with all of those guys.
I'm glad you were able to get the album done too before the quarantine happened, because that probably would have put a huge, break on everything, and that might have killed the momentum. I don't know.
We finished. I think it was just before March. I think it was just before March we finished, and then the world got crazy, and my living situation got crazy, and Yeah. So fucking thank God we finished it. This album's really honest about a lot of stuff. So
good.
We lucked out, man. We lucked out to finish it in time.
And there's just no baseball, unfortunately. I know you're probably disappointed about
that. Oh,
shit,
man, that's the fucking worst. I also found out my league's probably canceled, too, because I still play baseball. I play a men's league in Ottawa, and we found out that they're trying for July, but I don't think it's going to happen, and I'm so bummed. I'm, like, heartbroken that I'm not going to even be able to fucking play. I started posting, like, old videos of me, like, last year in the cages and stuff, just because I miss it so much, so.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the Phillies, with their second season with Bryce Harper, was supposed to be, like, a huge fucking home run with,
he's shit. Fuck, Bryce Harper's overrated, dude. Overrated, dude.
I will talk about football all day, but baseball, man.
Boba baby.
I'm going to
and Vlad.
I'm going to take a seat
back.
Boys. I think dude, you know what's really fucked up? The Nationals won the World Series.
Oh, I loved it though. That's the Montreal Expos. That's the Montreal Expos, man. I was fucking pumped. I am also an Astros fan. Long story about why I'm an Astros fan. So, I mean, it hurt when I found out they got caught cheating, but it's fucking baseball. Everybody cheats. They just got caught.
Sport, everybody cheats.
Everybody cheats. If you ain't cheating, you ain't getting ahead. I mean, that's pretty bad for, like, the younger fans of anything. Don't cheat. But, I mean, like, they just got caught. It's my homie Julian in the back.
Hey.
Railbender Studio, tattooer in Ottawa, man.
What's up, brother? How are you? Fucking what's it called? Oh, dude, if they didn't get caught with the buzzer on their shoulder or something, I think it would have been.
Was a thing?
Do you think that was a thing? I mean, I don't think there's no proof, but I think that's why it's such a talked about conversation of pulling their victory.
This is how I take this. Fucking hitting a 95-mile-an-hour ball is hard enough. Imagine you have a little buzzer. By the time the guy releases, you feel a buzz, and then you try to adjust to that. You know how insanely impossible that is? That's like impossible.
Well, what if you read the catcher's signs at that time? You know what I mean? Like maybe
if you know that it's still hard to hit. Everybody's trying to steal signs. They won't out the Yankees because I mean, sorry if there's Yankee fans watching, but fuck the Yankees.
Fuck the Yankees. I'm from Philadelphia. Come on, man.
This is just love. This is sports love, and fuck the Yankees.
They were even. What did they do? They were even. They tried to make the Astros and like that whole organization feel guilty because they returned all of the bets to people who actually put money on the Yankees in that game. So they were pretty spiteful about that. I was like, well, that's just gonna make things even worse. Kyle, thank you for the $5, man. I appreciate it. Love you, brother.
I mean, like straight up watching. We were on tour and I was in a Walmart trying to fucking find the game because it was the Astros and Yankees, and I got to see the Altuve home run. I mean, I could have told you a fucking slider was coming. I'm watching the game. If Chapman's not hitting his fastball, what else did he have? He's got a slider. If you're just sitting on something that's 100 miles an hour, it's still hard to hit.
Right, exactly.
But if it doesn't hit the strike zone, you got a slider coming. You know it's a slider. Altuve, 5'0". You're going to tell me that a buzzer made him hit a home run?
Probably not. As soon as he shifts his hips and he sees his body language start throwing it, he knows what's coming, dude. These are professionals.
But I get the whole cheating thing. It's fucking the way they stole signs is fucked up. I get it. But everybody cheats in baseball. They just got caught, and it's super shitty. If you want it, I'm like me and my friends that are like big baseball fans. We talk about this shit all the time. It's like if you want to make it fair, take out all of the cameras, take out all of that shit in the dugout. So then you can't cheat. You just can't fucking cheat. You know?
No.
I'm on second base, constantly stealing signs. Constantly
you have to.
Signs.
That's part of the game.
That's how the game is. But I know they did it with like cameras and shit because I'm gonna get a lot of hate from people that are like, yo, fuck this guy, he knows fuck all. But I mean, I know a lot more than y'all think about baseball.
Yeah, dude, that's why I'm letting you talk. Like, that's something I have to. Every time I see you, we talk baseball because I get a little bit of knowledge and shit. Because like I thoroughly enjoy it. I'm just not. I'm a football guy. That's.
I feel I should have been American, man. I like hockey.
You are.
I play baseball.
Yeah, you play baseball and you play hockey. I mean, dude, hockey was canceled completely. That really fucking pissed me off.
That sucks too. I know. Everybody hates on me once again because I'm a fucking Leaf fan. So everybody hates the Toronto Maple Leafs.
It's just that they're good. That's what happens.
Well, no, we're not, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
We're not. We're a fucking joke. No matter how good we have players, like we're still a joke. But I mean, what can you do? I like rooting for, I guess, the underdogs.
Yeah, I mean, we did it with. Actually, that's not true. When we were watching the Super Bowl, the intro songs, they played "Dreams and Nightmares" by Meek Mill when the Eagles came out. And then Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train came out for the Patriots, which has been their song every time they come out. And you're like, all right, I'm voting for the Patriots. I was like, do you want to sleep outside?
I was so pumped when the Eagles won. I'm not even a football fan, man, but I was pumped for you. I've never seen you so happy in my entire life.
Oh my God, that was
a
hard year.
You had tears in your eyes, dude.
I know. I was crying a little bit.
You were crying a lot. Not a little, a lot. A lot. It was awesome.
I had a bad year.
It was so fucking sick. I was so happy to be there for that. It was awesome, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it was a good time chilling. It's just one of those things. Something really, really good happened within that year because, Poeta took their hiatus. I wasn't doing much with that. So it was just like there was a bunch of other things that were involved that, really made it emotional. But that was like the highlight. And then I went to the parade. It was fucking sick. I remember being fucking wasted. I was like, let's hop on a train right now, go to Philly. And we're like, we can't, dude. Like, we can't. Jason's like trying to kiss me. I'm like, all right, dude, let's see what happens.
Yes, he was.
What I mean? Like,
Jason and Will were like checking out how to talk sports on their phone. That was so funny. Let them play.
that was so cool. But even in football, everybody cheats. So it's just one of those things that it just doesn't fucking. It's never gonna.
I don't condone cheating. Don't fucking message me and tell me I can. People that are watching don't hate on me. I don't condone cheating. I'm just saying that everybody's doing it. Unfortunately, they got caught, and they're not the Yankees. I guess the Red Sox are kind of getting punished for it, but I stopped caring because there's no sports on. So
no live sports, no live anything. The draft was the biggest thing that's happening today for the NFL. But other than that, and then it was kind of like a good opportunity to start this podcast with my friends and colleagues to actually bring some light to the industry in this sense, maybe other industries depending on who comes on the show.
Yeah.
But people are thoroughly enjoying it, so we'll see what happens.
I'm so you asked us, man. 100%. We're always down. Anytime. Anytime.
I'm just gonna start speaking facts. I said this in the beginning of the podcast. We Were Sharks is completely underrated. I think you guys have so much potential going out there, and the music's fucking fantastic. And I know that there's going to be possibly bigger tours in the near future. If you can't tell me.
There was something coming up that I can't really talk about because we don't know if it's going to happen anymore.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
just everything that's happening.
The plan, it's fingers crossed, is still happening. But, yes, obviously, as soon as we get the A-OK, you're the first person to know. Hell, first person. Fuck, you take Kyle's job. Come out with us. Sorry, Kyle.
Sorry, Kyle. I think they just got a new merch guy. I actually can use DSLR, so fucking whatever.
Come from the team. You'll be able to sell merch better than him, I'm sure.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Probably.
Shit talking mood. I don't know what it is.
Well, you know what it is? He could probably sell it better than merch than me, but I could definitely give better haircuts. For sure.
Shit.
Yeah, I cut my own beard.
Because you have your own hair. Kyle doesn't have hair, so.
Dude, he exposed me in that green room in New York. He's like, "What's this, buddy?" And just fucking.
Oh, no, he did do that,
I was like, you motherfucker. I love him. It doesn't fucking matter.
Kyle's a man. We talk shit about all our friends so much because they're the fucking best people in the entire world, man.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely.
All our homies are the fucking best people. So we, I don't know if anybody watched the live stream, but I talk so much shit about Jason because it's funny. Because Jason's the nicest person in the world.
I know, until he says he wants turkey bacon and not
bacon. Yeah, and then he wants fucking turkey bacon. Actually, so I started losing some weight and I was eating turkey bacon. I was like, fuck, I feel like Jason, but it's actually pretty good. So Jason, I got you, homie. I got you back, buddy.
I love everybody. Are you guys still doing the normal time killing on tour with listening to podcasts about ghost stories?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a big thing we do. We got into some of the murder mystery or murder case podcasts, which for me, anybody that knows me, I'm a pretty big softie, so I love horror stuff, and I think it's great, and I love all the gruesome horror stuff. But when I find out it's real, and if they talk about killing animals, it's done for me, man. You got to turn that shit off because I don't want to hear about it. And it's just there was a couple times me and Matt, our new bass player, Matt Sears. Well, I guess he's not new anymore, but Matt Sears, him and I would be like, "Yo, can you turn this shit off? We ain't digging this. This is not fun anymore. I don't want to hear about dogs or people dying because I know it's real.
It is
right,
real.
Or I know it's real. Check on a horror story or some horror podcast, and I can take that shit all day. But when I know it's real, it just doesn't sit right with me. I guess I don't know. I'm a baby. I'm a softy guy. So.
Have you seen anything in real life? Have you had an experience of something like that? Because I only had it happen to me one time, but I don't think it's enough to convince me that they walk among us in these.
Oh, like a ghost thing.
Yeah, like a ghost horror demon like experience.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm into that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe that shit though. Alien stuff? How about alien stuff? I believe in that shit. I mean, they're out there, man.
I know.
It could be my 1 o'clock in the afternoon beers, but there's some shit out there. Ghost stuff. So I'm like super big into like all of that stuff, like all the paranormal stuff. I absolutely love. But we were playing the Irving Theater in Indiana, and it was on the last tour actually. So we get in, and it's like a super old theater, and the sound guy and the owner are there, and they're talking to me about it, and we're talking about how it's haunted. And I met a bunch of really, really cool people that like told me all the stories about it. So the theater is like in front of me, and then way in the back is where you set up merch. So I know Kyle was setting up merch, and I'm like, I'll run out and give Kyle a hand, see what's up. So I like run over to the merch table, and Kyle's not there. And that's where like the door, so you're looking at the door entryway. So I turn around, and there's like the catwalk where the projectionist would like come up on. So I'm like, I turn around, and I'm walking away from the merch table. And you know when you like know somebody's coming up behind you, you can kind of feel it?
Oh, yeah, I know. It's like when somebody's staring at you, and you're not even paying attention, and like you're like, somebody's staring at me, you turn around, and it's like someone glaring at you.
Well, I'm like, it's fucking Kyle. Kyle's coming up. So I'm gonna play cool. Kyle's gonna come up, we're gonna chat. So I feel like this guy coming up, and then he's like right on top of me, like right over my left shoulder. And I kind of like spin to look, and it's just like a fog, like a really, you know when light hits dust?
Yeah.
It's like super like foggy, and it just kind of breaks apart. And I kind of stop, and I'm like, the fuck is that? Like I'm I think logically there's always an explanation for everything. And I guess the sound guy seen me, and he looks over and he's like, did you see something? He yells, did you see something? And I'm like, I think so. So I went, and I was like shaking the doors to see if any light came through the doors and all of that shit. And I mean, I told the guys, they thought it was fucking hilarious because I don't believe in that stuff. I love it, and that is like the only time I can say that I don't know what it was. I really truly can't explain. Like that whole town is all about ghosts. We have a lot of friends out there that want us to come back in October for like ghost tours, which I'm 100% for.
Oh, for sure.
And I want to do that. But yeah, it was the Irving Theater in Indianapolis. I think Irving, Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah.
No, you're good. No, it's just the city in Indiana. But it's crazy because, like, dude, I don't know. I don't believe in that shit either. Like, it's one of those things that if I experience it and I can kind of, like, bring it to light, I'll fucking see, judge for myself. So, long story short, at an old friend of mine's house, their grandmother was kind of like a hoarder, but, like, we didn't, like, see her as that. She just had, like, a lot of things that were in her personal possession. I mean, it wasn't, like, that bad of a house, but she just had a lot of stuff. So, I mean, imagine, like, this wall behind me. I mean, people for here. Yeah. I'm in my bedroom, so if people are listening to the podcast, like, it's, just, like, right behind me. So there's at least, like, I want to say, like, 1.5 or 2 feet of stuff in front of these china cabinets. And there's, like, a bunch of little knickknacks and shit in there. She was born on October 30th. She has, like, this cute little, like, witch thing that she's, like, involves herself. Like, yeah, I'm a witch. I talk to, like, family ghosts and stuff, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So I said, that's pretty cool. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I think it's, fascinating. And she's, like, telling me her whole history. So, it was, like, close to Christmas, and she's, like, pissed off for whatever reason. And she's, like, screaming at the people, like, her relatives, like, go away, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And, like, we're, like, a little high from smoking out back. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like, Graham, we just need to go to bed, dude. Yeah, right? Oh, my God. So we try to, like, calm her down and stuff. And she said something along the lines of, just get the hell out of here. And, like, as soon as she, like, kind of, like, released that and, like, out of her, like, in a tone that she said it, mind you, there's stuff in this front of this china cabinet. This Santa Claus, like, fixture just... It's like doll. It wasn't even a doll. It was like a ceramic fucking glass. It just breaks completely. Just shatters. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I am completely sober anymore. I know, but that doesn't matter. It happened though. And she looks at me. She's like, see, I told you they're here. They won't leave me alone. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it's like,
I got here.
I know. I said it. That still doesn't convince me. I don't know, man. That really, still didn't convince me.
I mean, no. I'm still on the fence. I love that shit. Sometimes it makes me sad to even think about like people being trapped here, like spirits being trapped. Like that makes me actually feel sad. So I hope it's not a thing because that like I said, I'm a fucking big softy baby, and that like like bums me out to think that you might be stuck on Earth roaming around. If I die, I'm gonna fucking come back and haunt everybody I know and scare the shit out of so many people, and it's gonna be so sick. So,
but it's like, I mean, who wants to live in purgatory? Like, it's just you're in this middle ground of nothingness.
I feel we're living in fucking purgatory right now. We can't do much.
Can't do shit. Can't go anywhere. You're scaring people. I mean, I have a DUI checkpoint from my kitchen to my fucking bedroom before I go upstairs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what is happening anymore. Like, this is some bizarre shit we're living in.
Speaking of like how crazy this is, so last night I stayed up till like I want to say 4:30 in the morning talking to two people that I don't even know on FaceTime. Scott and Anna, if you guys are watching. Cheers to you guys, because you did tell me you were going to watch today. You did. You said that you were going to watch. So, yeah, we just had like a super fun conversation. And somehow I guess I really didn't get talked into it, but I have to write a song for Anna by Friday. So I have to write a song by Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, and the homie Scott was like building me up like I was like this fucking master of a songwriter. But I'm going to do it.
Fuck yeah, of course you're going to do it.
I'll do it.
What do you mean?
So, yeah. So hopefully you guys are watching. I told you I'd give you a shout out. So
fuck yeah.
It was fun. We just like, that's quarantine, man. Like how crazy is that? Like I met Scott through like a long time ago, my roommate Julian, who's like best friends with him, and we just ended up talking till fucking 4:30 last night.
Well, you guys are also really fucking cool people, so I mean like it's easy to
I'm lucked out, man. I got a lot of cool people. A lot of cool people. So it's it was just like crazy. It was just like 4:30. And then I think I got up at, I want to say around 9 or 10 today. It's been,
fuck yeah. There's nothing else to do besides drink, hang out, fucking do what you can. I mean, I got, just trying to play myself and put myself in a perspective. It's like, I'm just going to play. I do go to work every once in a while because we're essential. And it's one of those things that, but we're running out of work because contractors are not working. Yeah. So it's one of those things that I'll find time to do something. But now I'm running out of things to do. And we're supposed to, school's closing to the end of the month, or to the end of the year, excuse me. We're supposed to reopen the economy in Pennsylvania on May 9th, I believe. I don't know,
fucked.
dude. I know. I just don't get it.
America is fucked. Y'all are so fucked.
We've been fucked.
We're shut down to like, also, I play in a cover band here, and we're shut down for the full year.
Wow.
Like, we're not playing anything for the full year. I work at the my homie's tattoo shop. Railbender. That's just me giving some shout outs. We're shut down we're gonna be shut down for a while.
Yeah.
So we're just
really fucked up.
And y'all are like fucking back doing shit by like May. I'm moving. I want to move to Nashville anyways. So I'm moving.
Yeah, I don't fucking blame you. Yeah, you're in a cover band called the Young Bucks, and I'm in another cover band called Lemon Juice, which I want to kind of like bring, the conversation to that, because when you're a musician for, kids that are in the underground scene, they still want to, put themselves in this industry. You have to take on these other jobs that you can financially put some income into your pockets to pay your bills still. I just listened to a podcast last night, Matt Halpern from Periphery, he said even when Periphery, started kicking off, he was still a server for like the next 5 years on and off the tour. What do you guys do? I know you're in the Young Bucks, and I know it's a great way for side income. Do the guys also have all those service jobs that help you get on tour?
Well, so they all have like Jason and Colin have like sweet computer jobs that they're still working at. They're still working their butts off every single day, so I got mad respect for them. Will is probably one of the best chefs around. Will is a man. Will won't take credit for that, but Will's a man. And Matt is off right now, but Matt works at Journeys. I'm pretty sure he was working at Journeys, but Matt is like, so our new guy Matt Sears. I mean, he's not really new anymore. He's just like, he's one of those musical genius kids. Like, he is so fucking good at everything he does. Yeah. He's so humble, and he's so shy, and he's so quiet about it. But he is the man, and like he works his butt off as well. And yeah, they all do that. Like, and I did all like the serving jobs. I was, a dishwasher for a long time. I was doing like heating and cooling and stuff like that, like HVAC shit. And then finally, I got an opportunity to play in a cover band because a lot of my friends are playing cover bands, and they're fucking insane musicians. And for some reason, they asked me to do it. So couldn't find a bass player, so It's got 4 strings. I might as well try it, even though it's way harder than I thought. So I do that now. I play bass and I sing in a cover band in Ottawa, and the homie hooked me up with a job as well at the tattoo shop. I don't tattoo,
that's pretty sick.
but I should. I should tattoo.
You'll probably get involved with it. Why not?
Yes, please. Thank you, buddy. Sorry, I'm calling for more beer. Sorry. So he hooked it up, and I mean, the guy's great artist. Everything on my right arm is by him, and on my stomach and on my ribs and stuff like that is by him. He's a man, known him forever, and I didn't even know he fucking he was an artist. I had no idea. I had no idea. He would like do these like super realistic paintings and drawings, and I'm like, who the fuck did that? And he's like, I did it. I'm like, no, you didn't. Don't lie. So in my first band I ever played with, he was a lights guy. He was a lights guy. He was on stage just like rocking out the lights.
Fuck yeah.
So
that's not an easy gig either.
It's all the first full circle.
Yeah,
we're trying to dump Kyle and get him to come out with us, but
I'm sure he will. It's one of those on the road, just like full time, just getting tattooed and shit. Like it's gonna happen. Yeah. I foresee it in the future. I'm telling you right now.
I would love that. That's why I'm trying to do a country side hustle, because in country music you can afford all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God. Tell me
pop punk, you cannot afford any of that.
In 2005, you could. God bless.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to be there in 2005.
Me too. Yeah. I kind of was there, but my pop punk band was not the greatest in the world. I mean, I love the guys to death, don't get me wrong, but our musicianship was not there. Gotta love the high school days.
Funny. We get a lot of like, too bad you guys didn't come out in like 2000, 2001. You'd be huge.
That's what
like,
I get that all the time.
It's not helping me now.
No, it's not helping me now. It's like, you guys have this like mid 2000s vibe. Like you guys should have came out there. I was like, well, I was also 17 in Pennsylvania, so fucking.
I wasn't 17. I wasn't 17. I was ready to go at that time.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So I mean,
these kids, all the gray in here. You can see all that.
Yeah, it looks good, dude. It looks good.
I mean, well, thank you. I'm trying to. I'm going through my midlife crisis apparently. So, party shirts and party hats.
Party hats, just nonstop. You're gonna probably buy a chopper within the next couple weeks. You know what I mean? Like,
I would love a chopper so much.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Hi, Melissa. Say hi to everybody, Melissa.
Hello. Yeah, so it's these kids that ever want to be in the music industry. I mean, they have to take on these opportunities for having these side hustles, whether it's on the road or not. I mean, I teach drums to a couple students of mine. I'm slowly growing that every time. So if I was technically on the road, I could video chat with them to also teach, as well as maybe teach when I'm on the road. I know Matt Halpern does something like that. He has that personal just that vibe he gives out, where he's really humble and he can be patient with students that can teach and such. But that's one of the things that I've strongly taken into consideration. I mean, when I was, when I cried during the Eagles Super Bowl, I was hopping from job to job because we were on a hiatus.
Yeah.
So I actually put my foot down and said, you know what, fuck it, dude. I'm gonna get my CDL and I can just have that license and just get a job doing anything, whether
100%.
It's for whatever company. So I strongly suggest anybody who wants to start touring full time or part time, month to month, or however you want to do it with weekenders, I strongly suggest trying to find something passionate that you can get a hobby for, whether it's graphic design, whether it's fucking making websites. You have to do it in order to fulfill that.
The music thing isn't a for sure thing. It never is. Mm-mm. It's never a for sure thing. And I remember when we got signed, I was like, yo, this is gonna be sick, dope. And it's fucking more work.
Yep.
It's more work, right? So it's you need to have a side hustle because you need to make that money. And I find sometimes a good side hustle makes you work more for the things you love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you hate your fucking job so much, you're gonna try harder on that next album. You're gonna push harder on those tours. You're gonna want to be the best band because you fucking want to do that full time. And that's a big thing. That's a big thing.
Especially when you have that attention now, and people are starting to demand. People are starting to demand those new songs. People are starting to demand certain sounds that they want, or they want to see you in their city. Now you really have to make it
100%. When a couple of years ago, when we first started really touring, I think I was home. I think I was gone more than I was home almost.
That's awesome.
It was. I mean, it was. If 18-year-old Randy would have got to do it, but a 30-year-old Randy, that's fucking hard on my family. That's hard on relationships. It's hard on my friends. It's hard on me. It was tough. I went through a lot of shit at that point. My dad passed away, and I was home for 3 days, and I was gone back out on tour, and it was just one of those things that I felt like a fucking asshole because I couldn't be around and help the people that I love, and it was fucked up. But at the same time, this is what I love to do, and this is the only thing I've known for a long, long time, and I've sacrificed a lot, and I kind of keep rolling with it, right? But having a side hustle to be able to put that in perspective to you when you get home from tour and work a fucking shitty job that you don't want to work, you're going to want to get your ass back out on tour, and you're going to find a way to get better at what you do to get your ass back out on tour, you know?
Mm-hmm. And you said sacrificing too. That's another thing that, you know, these pinpoint conversations, like, it's something that a lot of kids don't understand. Like, you can sacrifice the small stuff. You can sacrifice the birthday parties that your family has, or you can sacrifice, you know, little things. You know, your little brother's going to do a play out in his little elementary school, whatever. But there's a lot of bigger things you lose in life. Man, sometimes.
You lose relationships. I've lost so many relationships with people just because I was never fucking home. And that's hard for me to explain to them, or it's hard to me to understand that myself. You know, you just, even if the person's still with you, you still lose that time. You lose that time together, and that time you can never get back. So you better fucking love what you're doing, because if you don't love it, there's no point in trying it. When people ask me, they're like, what tip would you give to somebody that's wanting to start a band? I'm straight up honest. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
Don't do it. Think about it first. Like, you need to be so into it. We're nothing. We're not big at all. We're fucking nobodies on the grand scheme of this. And we're still hustling, and we're still going as hard as we can. And the people that, like, kids starting out just think, like, you get signed or some shit like that happens, and fucking overnight you're huge. That's not how this shit works.
It's not how it works.
Not how it works. You get signed, you got to work even harder. You got to be the next big thing. And it's fucking hard because there's so many bands. Everybody and their grandmother has a band now. Yep. So you better be doing something that people like. And, like, our big thing is we just don't take ourselves serious. We're out here having a good time. We play the fucking music we want to play, and we just go hard. We want the shows to be a party. So you better make sure you have your shit together, and you better be ready, because this is it's not an easy thing. We love it. I'm talking shit about it now. We fucking love it. I miss being out on the road. I miss hanging out with you. I miss seeing all this cool shit. But it is not easy. It is not what you think. So you better fucking love what you're doing, because if you don't, it's over. It's over.
Literally the greatest advice I can ever hear. And people need to hear that first and foremost, as bluntly as it can be. Jeremy, 100%. The guy at CI Records, he said that Launch Music Conference, he says about 20% of those kids like turn around and say this is not for them. And I'm like, wow, I never even thought of it like that. Because once they start getting into the business side of the music industry, it becomes a little overwhelming. And it's like, oh shit, there's another part to this? It's like,
I'm glad I got, like, Colin and the homies on that, because they're fucking, Colin is a man on that shit. So Colin, like, he's a fucking man.
Dude, not only that, you guys have a great family, man. Like, you guys stick together and push hard. That's what you need, man. You need a group. You need a fucking family that just fucking keeps going.
I've had, like, so many member changes. Like, we've been, July 11th, we're going to be around for 10 years. Sharks will be around for 10 years, July 11th.
Fuck it.
I'm pretty sure I played with everybody in Ottawa.
Yeah, that's what it's like in New Jersey. You play with everybody. Yeah, it's just one of those things.
You just fucking grow up, and some people don't want to do it anymore, and some people, move on to better things. Most of the people that were in Sharks have better lives now. They're moved on to better things. And I'm not complaining and saying my life's shit, because it's not. I get to fucking hang out with you on a Saturday and drink Bud Light and, like, fucking chill. But at the same time, it's you really need to be ready for this life. Like, you can't go in at half-assed, because you're just gonna get fucking torn apart.
And what made you decide? What made you decide, like, when you wanted to start getting into management, when you started wanting to label shopping? Like, what was that trigger that kind of made you say, hey, we should start reaching out for professionals?
When we were called Sharks originally, when we first started, there was, like, a lot of buzz, and I didn't understand why. We were just doing, like, early fucking 2000, late 90s pop punk. That's what we were doing. It was like a group of friends that all love that style of music, and we all wanted to do that. None of us thought it was anything special. We were just fucking throwing songs together, and there was kind of like a buzz and all the blog scenes, like, we'd chuck up our stuff. And I met Jason, because Jason's band messaged us and was like, yeah, when Jason and I, like, chatted, and that's how Jason and I became friends, and then he joined the band later on. But there was, like, this little buzz, and we'd go out on these, like, little trips, and the fucking kids were crazy. Like, and I got to watch Seaway play their first fucking show. Look where that band is now. I remember Light Pacific going out and playing and slugging it out with Light Pacific. Look at that band now. There's so many amazing bands that I've got to watch become the best, and we just kind of, like, sat around and we're like, what are we doing? Why don't we search for this shit? Because, anybody that knows me, I'm afraid of success, if that's, like, a thing. Like, anything that I get good at or I'm decent at, I'm afraid. I'm afraid to take the next level, and I usually bail. And I felt like, I'm glad I have a bunch of dudes in this band that were like, no, fuck that, we're gonna try it. And a lot of that at the start, especially at the start, this is before Colin joined, it was Jason really, like, pushing that out, eating turkey bacon and, like, really sticking us down people's throats. So I commend him for that. Like, I love doing what we do. I don't think we're fucking great, but the guys I have behind me are, like, really pushing it. So yeah, Jason went out. And then we hooked up because we hooked up with Mark.
Right, from 921 Collective.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the same manager at one point. Yeah, love that guy. Yeah.
So he's a fucking man, and
man.
he's seen a lot in us as well. And I mean, Mark's the fucking man, and Mark works his ass off for us as well. So that was like the big thing, like get management and get a team that believes in you, because sometimes you don't believe in yourself. So if you have a team that believes in you, you know that's very important. And Mark really kind of like pushed the way, and we had Victory come out to a show in Chicago. And that's kind of how it all started. Like they like seen us play live, and we were signed to a smaller label at the time, Panic State, and they let us go when they found out that like Victory came to check us out. They're like, you can go and sign with Victory. And
that's
we signed
pretty
with
fucking cool, dude. Yeah,
that was super cool.
Yeah, it's one of those things because like that's going to take you to the next level, and you know those people are going to believe in you. You know those people are going to market you, and you know those people are going to like take you into consideration of like, hey, these guys want to do it. But like it also comes down to you were basically showcased at a live performance, and they were like, oh shit, this band can play live. Which, dude, that the Sharks can play live.
Like
you know, like a fucking.
We just like have fun. You know what I mean?
Dude, you guys do have fun. Yeah, you guys change as soon as those lights hit you, man. Like it just comes into a party. It turns into a fucking party.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. We don't take ourselves too serious. There's so many good bands out there. We just want people to come out to our show and may have if they had a shitty week, a shitty day, we want them to fucking forget about that for the 25 minutes we're on stage, because it's never longer than that. For the 25 minutes we play really, really fast, we want them to forget all of life's problem and just come and hang out, because if it wasn't for them, and I truly mean this, if it wasn't for them, we would not be able to do what we've been doing for so long. And we fucking lucked out, man. We fucking lucked out so hard. We have the absolute greatest fans. I know every band says that, but we have the absolute best fans because they support us through all of the shit, and they are always there. We are, come and hang out with us. Come and say hi. We want to fucking meet every single one of you. Like, we will take that time because you guys are the best. Honestly, you truly are the best.
Yeah, I've seen it at all your shows. I think I've been to like maybe 5 or 6 shows, especially with not including the tours that we did, the shows that we played together. So it's like one of those things that you guys do make the time. A lot of bands don't do that. Like a lot of bands don't take the time to like meet every single individual person, and then when they're done with that, they go to the next show or they start driving or something. Like
we get shit because we're late for the next show because we're fucking hanging out with everybody.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you're supposed to be here this time. I do like what they're implementing though with these shows. When we toured in Canada, they started putting the local bands in between the headliners. I think that's something we should really take an interest in the near future, to like bring out the local scene.
Yes.
Uh-oh. I think I'm losing you for a second.
I agree with that.
There you go.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with that.
Wait, hold on. I think I'm
there we go.
losing your connection. Okay, you're
it's
good.
a sexy face again.
Sexy face. Yeah, it's one of those things because I don't
as long
like
as
the
they
whole
can see your
ticket
face,
sale
they don't
thing.
get to see my
face. Stop it.
Sell things.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things that I think that local shows. I don't think local shows like I don't agree with the whole ticket selling thing. But if you're having these like local scenes come out and they're playing for they're coming out for their friends, they want to see their friends play, and then they all leave. It's kind of like a waste of a show.
Yeah.
However, what they were starting to do in Canada.
Let me tell you about those.
I know, dude. Can you imagine? It's fucking crazy how they do.
Oh man. It's fucking nuts, especially like on a tour. Like I remember being a local band and wanting all of these fucking kids to come out because I was playing this opening show and I wanted them to stick around. Man, there's so many fucking local bands now that like play and pack up their shit as soon as it's done and like peace out.
Yeah.
And like to me, that is fucked. That is so fucked. I'm calling out all you fucking local bands that do that. If you have a good excuse, go for it. If you don't have a fucking good excuse and you're too cool from school, then fuck you. Because that's not how it's done. We need to save the scene. We're in this shit together.
We are.
That's the big thing when we were younger, right? Mm-hmm. We had this scene. This is what we were doing. We're supporting it together. And if these fucking bands come out and do that, you're not helping anything. If you want to be a touring band, fucking show us how good you are. You want to be a touring band? Fucking get out there and work your ass off and become a touring band. Because you can. You can do it. Just don't be a fucking cocksucker or a cocky guy because it doesn't fucking work like that. It just doesn't. It happens so many times and it blows my mind that like, it's just fucked. Like you can't do that. That shit doesn't fly.
Well, if they had a bad experience with like a band that they open up for and they're like kind of douchebags, listen, that's not every band. Don't stereotype that because every band is literally like probably like 9 times out of 10 you're gonna have humble guys who want to talk, who want to watch your show, who want to collaborate, who want to network. And if you're really into this industry and you are just starting out, dude, I remember being in like the shittiest bands, and I'm not gonna start naming names, but like I would
No,
still network when I would
that's
open
why I'm
up
not
for these
naming
bands.
names either.
Yeah, but it's like I came out talking to these bands like, hey, listen, I can't wait to see you guys play. You know, I'm making sure my friends stick around and stuff, and like I would exchange contacts, and that's how I started getting even more into it because they would like, hey, come out to our studio. Like we actually need a you know, we actually need like a merch guy or something, and I like did that a couple times. So it was just cool. That it's like, okay, now I'm, you know, obviously that's just my personality. Like, you should be, you know, you should be out there like talking to these bands, trying to make friends.
Absolutely.
And if you had that one douchebag friend,
make your band better.
Nah.
You know, and like that's the big thing about me. You don't have to like us. You don't have to like our band. You can fucking hate us.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, we got a lot of respect for these bands that are slugging their ass off and like starting, because some of these bands we've seen start out, they're going to be huge. We've played with so many amazing fucking local bands. It blows my mind how fucking good these bands are. I'm swearing a lot, and I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. It's
gonna be Saturday. It's not Sunday.
It's Saturday. It's Saturday's for the boys, dude. Come on.
But yeah, I'm just pretty passionate about this shit. I don't hold back. Like, when somebody asks me what's on my mind, I'm going to tell you exactly what the fuck's on my mind. And that shit is like, it pisses me off because there's so many good bands that just, you know, you don't have to fucking like us, but if we're sitting watching your band, know that if you're a really good band, we see that shit. Yeah. If you're really good people, we see all of the bands that tour, we see that shit. We know what's going on. We communicate with each other. We talk to each other. We're going to talk about how good this band in Chicago was. We're going to talk about how good this band in fucking Austin, Texas was. We're going to talk about that shit. We do that.
We like do that. We share you on social media.
Like, who's opening up that show? Those boys are the best. You know, like, we talk about that shit. So if you're like a local band and you think you're bigger than you are, newsflash, you're not going to get around. Sorry, man.
Nobody's going to like respect you for what that is, especially, and it's coming from the Godfather himself. The guy who creates these tours every summer that is not doing anymore, Mr. Kevin Lyman. He's not stopping the Warped Tour, which I want to ask you how that show was, by the way, in 2018. He didn't stop the tour because he wasn't making money. He didn't stop the tour because he wasn't making getting enough sponsorships or not enough good talent. He didn't stop the tour because kids weren't coming out to shows. He stopped the tour. He's basically, it sounds like he's putting it on timeout. He stopped it because everybody's fucking hating on everybody. It's not a community like it used to be. Of course he's not going to continue with that. He doesn't want to see these bands like, why is this band on the tour and blah, blah, blah. How is this band friends with this band? This band says fucked up shit. Like, no, that's not how the community works. So I'm glad that he pulled the fucking lever on that and put a stop to it.
Kevin Lyman's the man. It's like, back in the day, it was all these fucking bands together, and we were going at it together because we wanted to take down what the mainstream was. Mm-hmm. And then I think somewhere along the way, we all lost our way. I feel like it lost its thing. Like, punk rock used to be fucking punk rock.
Yeah, exactly.
And we were mainstream. And then somewhere down the road, we all lost our way. Let's fucking get it back, because, I mean, especially now that we can't fucking play. The next time we go and play shows, let's make sure every one of these fucking shows sell out. Whether you're coming to see your favorite band or just some random band, sell this shit out. Let's get this shit back together, because we are the only people that can fucking do this. We are the only people that give a shit about what's going on in this scene.
Yeah, let's have a good fucking time with it.
We lost that.
Yeah, a little bit. So I think like what he's doing is kind of stepping back from it, and then let's see like if people can, kind of what's the word? Rejuvenate from a loss of a very fucking amazing tour every summer. But like, how was 2018? How was that show? You guys played a one-off show.
It was crazy because so Melissa actually was on my roommate's girlfriend, who obviously lives here, and she's great girl. She actually did the whole Warped Tour that year as well. So, we hung out when we played. It was crazy. It was fucking awesome. It was so fun. Warped Tour is so fun, man. It's like a boot camp. You guys did it?
Yeah, we did it.
How was that?
For 11 days. It was the best experience of my entire life. I have everything fucking mounted on my wall. It's just something that I'll never forget. That moment in my life, like whether that's the pinnacle of my success in the music industry or not, it was just one of those things I'm very grateful for. So, I mean, I'll never...
So pumped when I found you guys were on that. It was
11 days, dude. We were spoiled. A bandwagon, sponsored by Skull Candy. Fucking, we would be either the first band opening it up, or we would be the second band if like a local band played one of the competition Ernie Ball stages. So, Yeah, we were spoiled. I talked to Kevin. We played knockout, kicked our ass, drank some beers. Fucking dude.
Oh yeah.
There's plenty of stories to come from that tour, but it gave us momentum. I mean, it's just one of those things that Kevin has it all planned out to where he puts bands on his tour to help them grow and build in the scene. And like, I made friends with Hour last night and Hands Like Houses, and they don't know who the fuck I am, but it's like they know that this kid's playing on the tour. He's got to be good under Kevin's under Kevin's wing and shit. So,
I mean that thing, going out to Warped Tour every year, going to see Warped Tour every year, especially like younger and stuff like that. It's just one of those things, man. And it was like a heartbreaker when it was put on hold, but we can do a Corona Fest now.
We can do a Corona Fest. We're gonna start fucking throwing that out there, dude.
Quarantine Fest.
6 feet apart. Like everybody's just gonna like standing with like a bunch of fucking bodysuits and shit. When can we expect this next album? Do you guys have like any dates planned or anything, or what's going on?
If it was up to me, it'd be out already.
Yeah, exactly. Totally feel you. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure when the deadline is, just because the world's shut off, right? So I mean, we gotta figure it out. They're still getting like finished up with like some of the mixes. We've heard some of like the finished stuff. It's still got to be mastered and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But like I said, we're all so excited about it. I know every band says it about the last album, but man, we are so pumped. Like this is just something that we all feel is pretty special, and it's special to us. So I'm hoping everybody digs it when it comes out.
I'm
but I have no idea when it's coming out.
Okay, good. Well, we're gonna keep an eye out on it, and I definitely want to see what how they go live. The live shows are so sick. So I miss the boys in this band. I miss you. I mean, I'm glad everybody's staying safe and shit. Mm-hmm. I want to say thanks for coming on. This is fucking cool.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is going to be something that we're going to keep continuing to do, and we're going to follow your guys' story. I mean, this is just the beginning. Like you guys are good. I'm telling you, there's a lot of good shit coming your way. I'm telling you.
I mean, I feel a little old for it to be the beginning, but
I know.
I mean, I'll still do it until I can't do it anymore. Until my brittle bones break on stage, I'll continue doing this shit because we love it. We fucking love it. There's we're not trying to be famous. We're not trying to do any of that shit. We just want to play, and we want to play for the people that want to hear us play. That's all we care about.
Yep. I totally feel you about that. You want to play for the love of it. You want to make people happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you want people to have a good time.
Yeah.
That's what I do it for too, man. It's all about passion. You can check out We Were Sharks Band on Instagram and Twitter. We Were Sharks. Their album Lost Touch is out now, all streaming platforms. Fucking fantastic album. I'm gonna chat with you a little bit after this podcast. So let's keep going on. So thanks for everybody for joining. I will see you guys tomorrow with Chris Kelly from Galactic Empire, one of the original founders. Good dude, old friend. Haven't seen him in a minute. So, all right, brother. I appreciate you and your time. I miss those boys. Tell them I said what's up.
Yeah, I will let them know, man. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is a man. Continue tuning in. Continue tuning into this.
Thanks, guys.